Okay, so I'm talking with Cedric Dahl from Buttercoin. Hey Cedric, thanks for being on the show with me.
Hey, it's good to be here.
So, okay, tell me, what is Buttercoin and what do you do with Buttercoin? Tell me all about yourself.
Sure, so Buttercoin started as a high-performance Bitcoin exchange engine, and it has grown into becoming a full-scale, realized Bitcoin exchange.
Okay, so, and it's open source, is that right? It's built on open source platform?
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that the trade execution engine was available to anybody who could use it. We found that the Mt. Gox lag has been creating a lot of problems for the stability of the Bitcoin price.
Oh, yeah.
We really wanted to help fix that problem, and so that's where Buttercoin came from.
Yeah, so I mean, necessity is the mother of invention, right? And I can definitely see why there's a real need for a better exchange. So what makes Buttercoin better than Gox?
You know, you got to really respect the guys from Mt. Gox for what they attempted to do. They started off with Magic the Gathering online exchange, and they evolved to Bitcoin. And you know, when you're taking that route, being scrappy, using PHP, MySQL, and just putting something together with hope, spit, and a lot of ingenuity, you have to tip your hat to that. But as I understand it, they sort of cap out at around 5 trades a second. And so, you know, when you have that, what happens is whenever there's a Bitcoin rally, you end up having these hour lags, which create panics, and people lose faith in the economy, and the price tanks. And so you can't have that. So we, in 1 week, we were able to get the Buttercoin trade execution engine up to 100,000 trades a second, and that's unoptimized. We're aiming at having 1 million trades a second, and we're maybe a week away from that.
And so just for comparison, what does like the New York Stock Exchange do or the NASDAQ do?
Yeah, so Buttercoin is actually on par with those. It uses the LMAX architecture. Right now it's built in Node, but we're going to be changing things up as we scale.
Okay, awesome. So since it's open source, anybody could take that code and start their own exchange, is that right?
Absolutely, and we hope they do. We hope that they're able to get around the regulatory hurdles and put something up quickly, which is what we're also trying to do.
Yeah, that's cool. So, okay, so how did you get started with this? Like, how did you get into Bitcoins? How did you get started with Buttercoin? Tell me more about that.
So this is a little bit of a story, so bear with me. Bitcoin's at $13, and I buy a ton of it, mostly to give it to WikiLeaks, because I believe in them, and my credit card company says that I can't pay them, and I disagree with that.
Yeah, right on.
So I buy Bitcoins in a coffee shop from a guy who I've never met before, not really knowing what I'm doing, at 13 bucks. And I watch the price grow and grow and grow and grow. And I watch this rally as it goes up to 200. And a friend of mine, Paul Bohm, is having a Bitcoin party, celebrating all things Bitcoin. And at the party, we watch the price peak up to 250, and it's almost hitting 260, right? We party, we pop champagne, everyone's celebrating. We're all thinking, we're Bitcoin millionaires, hurrah!
Yeah.
The next morning, I wake up to my phone ringing, and it rings and rings and rings, and finally I answer it, and my friends are asking me, Cedric, what are we going to do? Bitcoin just crashed. And I'm asking them, what do you mean it crashed? Like, Bitcoin's at $50, and I'm asking, how is this possible? And to make a long story short, it was because of the lag, because of the Mt. Gox lag. And we were so upset that the entire Bitcoin economy could be so hurt by lag. And that's really where Buttercoin came from. So the next day, our friend Paul Bohm, who threw the party, tweeted, hey, let's fix Bitcoin. Let's get a high frequency, high transaction Bitcoin trade execution engine out there. That's a really big mouthful. And so just something that can do more. My business partner, Bennett Hoffman, and I, we basically started living on Paul's couches and just doing everything we could to actually make Buttercoin real. Before we knew it, we were doing 20,000 times more transactions per second Mt. Gox could, and we realized that we had something here. So it wasn't enough to just put that out there for anybody to use it. We felt compelled to actually build a company and do it correctly, make sure that we were completely above board with compliance, make sure that we were able to make something that actually worked, that had liquidity, and that could
What kind of compliance are you talking about? With being an exchange? I mean, I assume you mean that?
Yeah, so if you're an exchange, you're a money transmitter in America, and that means you need to have a money transmitter's license, or you need to work with a bank or somebody who has a money transmitter's exemption.
So you got that? I mean, you jumped through that hoop, is that right?
They are crazy hoops to jump through, but
I imagine so, yeah.
We've managed to actually get 2 different companies to work with us. I can't disclose who they are.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, we're getting the compliance side of things wrapped up, and you should be expecting to see Buttercoin out in the wild pretty soon.
So, and how long did that take? Just like a month and you were done with all these regulations? I find it hard to believe.
Yeah, it's a crazy, hard uphill battle, but we've got the majority of the difficult things solved. There's a bunch of ways to do it, but if you're savvy, you can do it quickly.
Yeah, so that's a really interesting personal story. So how many people are working on Buttercoin overall? Can people join the project, or is it kind of closed?
So anybody can contribute to the open source project. In terms of the Bitcoin exchange that we're launching, we've got 4 full-time employees, and we're always looking for talented engineers. So if there are any listening, reach out to us, go to buttercoin.net, send us a mail, we'd love to work with you.
Cool. All right, anything else you want to add, Cedric?
Viva Bitcoin!
If I showed you a website where you could easily purchase electronics from the world's largest distributor with Bitcoins at 0% markup, would you think it was too good to be true? Good news, it's real, and it's at bitcoinstore.com. Choose from 500,000 items, save money over Amazon and Newegg, and convert your Bitcoins to real-world items. You can even buy with privacy. All they need is a shipping address. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself at bitcoinstore.com.
Let's Talk Bitcoin is heard each week by thousands of people who are participating in the new digital economy. Our listener base of Bitcoin owners, miners, investors, technologists, and merchants is growing fast. We offer a limited number of short advertising slots in each show to keep our listeners engaged and to provide maximum impact for our sponsors. If you'd like to talk to us about Let's Talk Bitcoin, send us an email at sponsors@letstalkbitcoin.com.
I'm talking with Brian from Coinbase, Brian Armstrong.
Yep.
And hi, Brian. Thanks for being on the show with me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Tell me, what is Coinbase for anyone who doesn't know?
Sure. Coinbase is a wallet for Bitcoin that's hosted in the cloud. So we let you buy and sell Bitcoin by connecting any U.S. bank account, because it makes it really easy. And then we do secure storage, and we also let merchants accept Bitcoin.
What's coming next for Coinbase? What have you been doing here at the conference? Tell me more about your future plans.
Yeah. So we've just been meeting people face to face. Trust is a very important thing in Bitcoin. So we want to be able to put a face to the name and let people know that we're real people behind this. And then, what's coming next for Coinbase is we're want to accept more payment options, make it even easier, turn on instant buys. And we just raised a bunch of money. We announced the largest fundraise in Bitcoin last week, $5 million from Union Square Ventures. And so that allowed us to really raise the amount that we can sell in Bitcoin every day.
Okay, so, and are you going to be adding new features with that as well? Are you hiring new people?
Yeah, we're building out our team quite quickly and interviewing 2 or 3 people every day. So we're trying to find great software engineers, designers, business development people, compliance officers, all people who could work locally in San Francisco in our office.
How did you get the idea for Coinbase? Tell me about that.
Well, I was working at Airbnb about 2 years ago, and I know
Airbnb. Yeah.
Great, yeah, it's a great company, and we were moving money all over the world, and I was doing software engineering for them, and so it turned out that that's a very difficult and time-consuming process with lots of fees all over the place. And so when I read the paper on Bitcoin, I realized this was going to be a big thing. It's going to be a fast, cheap payment network for the whole world.
And when was that?
This was about 2 years ago. And so I started working on a prototype, and basically the idea of Coinbase was just that if this new protocol can become easy to use, it's a huge idea. And that's what's happening. So
yeah, it would be cool if Airbnb would integrate Bitcoin with their services.
Yeah, it would make a nice close the loop here on the story. And
I bet they're sad they lost you.
Hopefully, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they start accepting it in the next year here. So
that sounds great. I know you got to run, so thanks for talking with me today. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And Coinbase.com.
Coinbase.com. Get yourself a free Bitcoin wallet.
Woohoo!